Hey everyone, it's Rob the Backyard Gardener, and it's time to get you caught up on my citrus that I've grown from seed. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As many of you know, a lot of my play series or playlists are growing from seed. In today's video, we're gonna update you on my citrus plants that I started from lemon and orange seeds way back on June 11th, 2017. So we're just about 1 month away from their 5-year seediversary, if you will. Anyway, they're just about 5 years old going on next month, and it's been almost a year, just a couple of days off from a year since the last update. Now, in the last update, I was repotting them from smaller pots into bigger pots, and I said I was excited about the growing season. They actually put on a lot of growth last year, but as you know, my climate here, zone 8A here in Texas, is not conducive to growing citrus outdoors in the ground, so I have to grow it in pots and over the winter, bring it indoors and hope for the best. They had spent since November of last year through basically the first week of April of this year indoors in my indoor grow room. And I'll tell you, they struggled. They didn't put on hardly any growth. The leaves looked a little sad. I had a lot of lights on them, so I know they were getting decent light, but citrus require full sun, 8 to 12 hours a day, and they definitely were wanting to get back outside. That being said, I did harden them off in April for a couple of weeks, but we did get a couple of problems, a couple of sunburn problems, and I missed a couple of water cycles for them, so they definitely were not very happy with me for a few weeks. Anyway, it's been about a month that they've been outside, and I figured it's time to get you guys updated and show you them and show you the progress that they're making. And as a quick reminder, I do want to stress the fact that while you will not see any flowers on them today, remember that citrus grown from seed typically takes 3 to 6 years at the minimum to reach maturity, and then typically another year or two until they can produce any flowers or fruit. So just about being 5 years old, they're at the very beginning of the threshold that they could flower. I don't think they're going to flower this year. Fingers crossed they flower next year, but we'll have to see. Last reminder before I turn the camera around is that when you grow citrus from seed, you're not gonna get the same type of fruit as the parent tree if you get fruit at all. So we don't know what we're gonna get. We gotta pray for flowers first, then we gotta pray that it sets fruit, then we gotta pray that it's edible fruit or fruit that at least tastes great as far as citrus is concerned. All right, enough chit chat. Let's turn the camera around, let's take a look at the trees, and then I'll come back with a wrap up and some final thoughts. So we'll start off quickly with a quick look at them, and I apologize that they're all bunched together, but this is the only spot in my yard that I can put them, or at least the only spot that gets full sun, although it's later in the day now. I will show you that this guy right here is about 7 feet tall. He put a lot of growth on during last year's growing season, although he did struggle a little bit indoors. Most of them struggled indoors, as you can see by the yellow leaves. I do want to make mention as a reminder that the black pots are all the ones that we grew from orange seeds, and that's those 3 that you can see in the back, and they seem to be doing a little better than the lemon seeds. Now, as another reminder, the ones that are in the green pots are the ones that we grew from lemon seeds, or at least the last 2 surviving ones from the lemon seeds we started from seed. Now, this is one of the more runted lemon seeds, or at least lemon saplings, and I'm happy that I'm starting to see some new growth on it. These guys did not like coming outside to the sun, but they definitely are starting to be acclimated now to the full sun as well as my watering schedule, and so I'm pretty happy that they're starting to make a pretty good recovery. I've been putting off this series mainly because there wasn't much to show you except for the yellowing and some of the sunburning that the leaves had received over the last month or so. I've been pulling off a lot of these damaged leaves that come off pretty easy. Some I tug on a little bit, but they don't come off, so I just leave them there for now. Probably should do a better job of pruning these. Maybe it'll help the plant, but I do want to show you that I am getting some wrinkling on these, and that happened when I first brought them outside. So that could have been from lack of water, could have been from some sunburn. I don't know, maybe you guys could let me know in the comments down below. Either way, they have new growth. They are starting to recover. They're definitely acclimated to the full sun that they're getting every day and definitely putting on some height. And this is the second biggest citrus tree I have, and he's about 6 feet tall as well. I will say that when I was examining these wrinkled leaves, I thought Possibly it was a mineral deficiency, so I did give them an Epsom salt foliar spray and even added some to the soil because I know they spent a lot of time indoors. And because they spent so much time indoors, I thought possibly they had depleted maybe the nutrients that were in the potting soil. I did top them off. I did remove a little bit of the top layer of the original potting soil and add in some compost that I had from my yard, hoping that that will help. I might want to consider maybe even adding another fertilizer, maybe some fish oil, something else. But I'm trying to limit all the things I do in the first month of being outside. Anyway, they get regular watering, and I do let it dry out before I add more water. They just were watered this morning, so they look pretty good. I know many of you probably want to see some of the trunks on them. They've got some pretty thick trunks that they're growing now, so they definitely are mature trees, albeit not very tall in general. I've kept them indoors and pruned. I will say it is annoying that this one has a lot of these roots on top of the soil. Every time I bury that guy, he comes back out, it seems like, but definitely pleased with the progress of the size of the trunks, some of the branches. Overall, they look good, other than the coloring could be better. And of course, some of the wrinkling that's going on. Maybe I just need to add a little more nitrogen to the soil as well. That's always a good option, especially with citrus, since they are somewhat heavy feeders for sure. I made mention of the watering. I definitely let the top inch or two of the soil in the pots dry out before I add any more water, and then I super soak them all the way through thoroughly, and then of course once they dry out again, I give them more water. Now we do have one more citrus plant here that is in this small pot. This is another lemon tree that I started from seed, same time as the rest. This is the guy that I kept outside in that outdoor greenhouse, and he pretty much froze right here, and I chopped him, and he's been resilient in coming back. Of course, he's heavily stunted, but I want to keep him as part of the series since he's been a part of the series since the beginning. Anyway, we're just going to pan around and take a quick look at these, kind of give you an idea how they're doing since it's been a while since the last update. And again, I know they definitely could use some more green color to them, but keep in mind, 6 months indoors in the indoor grow room. They were hardened off, been outside for only about a month. This is a good benchmark to see what they do over the next several months, now that you know what they look like after their first month of being brought from indoors back to outdoors. Yeah, a lot of yellow leaves right now, but hopefully they green up over the next several months for sure. Well, that's going to do it for today's citrus grown from seed update. They're just about 5 years old. I do plan on giving you guys another progress report later on in this season. Remember, the plants were stunted a little bit when I repotted them last year. Then they spent 6 months indoors, so not a lot to show you in today's update, but hopefully in the next 90 days, I have more to show you. I also want to make a reminder that I will be updating my avocado trees grown from seed next weekend, and to show you maybe a garden tour of what's growing in my garden for 2022. Anyway, if you enjoyed the update, I'd appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy gardening, and thanks for watching.